Listen to Sage Against the Machine, the nichest podcast of the Nichian. The Nichiverse.
It is.
This is Isaac.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Joshua. And a shout out to all our listeners. I've ran into some people today that are like, yeah, I listened to that podcast.
That's always a good thing, right?
It's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
I like it when that happens. I mean, sometimes it's people you would never suspect, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Feel bad
always
for those other two losers I do podcasts with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do kind of a different, we do a very different thing here.
Completely different.
Completely different. I was thinking though too, when you get those, you get those people who come up and it's unexpected. I do get a kick out of that. Like that's very fun. But I was thinking as well about when you said we kind of got a non-mention mention on Acculturation TV.
Yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about that.
Did you look for it? Did you find it?
I didn't look for it yet because I kind of figure it's going to be a pain in the ass. But like you got to tell everybody what.
It's just the one with Regan and Dale.
Yeah.
They talk about, well, despite what you might have heard on the podcast.
And we're basically the only podcast in Acculturation who does this shit.
Yeah. I think us and the Outlaws are the only
podcast.
Operating podcast. I mean, we had a couple others, but I don't know if they've made any content recently. I did very much enjoy the Gigi Girls.
I never listened to that one.
It's Bones, Brittany Bonaparte and Gondawux Perkins, and they do they talk scary stories. They're really great. Check them out.
Oh, that's fun.
GG
that's
podcast.
Fun. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, shout out to them. And then there was Simpleton Cinema. That was my young friend Ross LaFrance, and they talk movies. They haven't put out an episode in a while, so
we talk about movies sometimes.
Yeah.
And I used to write Entertainment Binge.
Yeah.
Until Indian time went down. Rest in peace.
Paper folded.
Yeah.
To be replaced by podcasts.
I hope everybody liked that episode too with Margie. I thought she did great. That was a good episode.
My mother listened to it, so that's something.
Oh man, Margie told me a cool story. So she said, how she was talking with us about that her grandkids. She said her grandkids were over and they came running up the stairs and said, "Did us on a podcast we listened to. This is so cool." And I was like, "See, there we go."
How weird is it? A 10-year-old's like listening to you.
Well, I actually said that to her. I was like, "Is it good that a 10-year-old listens to us, or is it bad?" But I figure, I mean, yeah, we get into some spicy stuff sometimes, but it's nothing crazy.
No.
And I think we do our best to educate and open people's minds.
Well, I mean, after today's subject, we might have to send a shout out to Homeland Security. So.
Yeah, well, fuck them. I don't care. They had this one coming. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened with this topic how did it come to be that we're going to talk about this?
Well, this one's by request. A listener, Lisa, who listens to us, she's wondering our stance on our good friend Luigi Mangione. Yeah.
I mean, what? Okay. So I was telling Josh this just a few minutes ago. I've been kind of given a little bit of a warning, I would say, maybe not to be too provocative about this, but to be honest with you, I mean, what am I supposed to think? We're living in the second Gilded Age.
Yeah.
And tens of thousands of people die every year because they don't have health care or their health care is insufficient. And so Luigi Mangione allegedly at this point.
Right. He's innocent
until proven guilty. And
still hot.
Yeah. That's what the ladies say. He's super good looking. I did catch a shot of him with his shirt off and I was like, maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah.
A couple weeks and I get there.
Some Ozempic.
Yeah, man. I do that already. And when I take it, anyway.
I take it regularly.
Yeah, I know. I don't take it
work.
regularly. But it does work when you do take it because it makes you fucking sick and you don't want to eat. But anyways, yeah. So, I mean, look, the guy allegedly did something that I really can't find much to argue with.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the CEO was, he was a guy doing his job, but your job is evil.
Yeah. Your job sucks.
Your job sucks.
And we were discussing earlier, they say it's capitalism. Not.
Yeah.
I don't think insurance companies and medicine is capitalism.
Yeah. Tell like the way that you explained it, it really kind of opened my eyes to things. So like explain what you were saying with it.
Well, I mean, in most markets, things tend to improve in quality and decrease in price because, you have competition and then you get better at it over time. And you do get better at medicine over time, but
sure.
But it seems to get more expensive and kind of shittier.
The practitioners get better.
Yeah.
The operators of it, the gatekeepers of it, they don't get better.
Yeah. So you have these false things called corporations that are really created by the state, right? To be a corporation, you have to have a license for the state, blah, 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 all that. And then on top of it, insurance is like in case shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're just paying in case shit.
Right.
Now you have a system based on in case shit when shit's going to happen.
Yep.
So, honestly, if it was run by Walmart, breaking a leg shouldn't cost.
No.
There's no reason why. What is a hospital room, right? It's a monitored shitty hotel room.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't cost more than a Holiday Inn room.
No.
Really.
No.
And
just stay there.
Just to stay
just
there.
Just the charge for staying there overnight.
And there really should be more of them.
Yeah.
So,
a lot more.
Yeah. There should be at least as many as hotels.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's going on? And the insurance company, this insurance situation and arrangement we have is why it's that way.
Mm-hmm.
And these are organizations that are now devoid of redress of grievances, right? I mean, typically the reason you have a state, I don't worship at the altar of the state.
Right.
I don't think the state is a natural extension of humanity. I don't think it's going to exist forever. I think will become a stateless society or bomb ourselves back into the Stone Age. One of those things might happen. So the state is supposed to be the arbiter for the people. And in the case of insurance companies and billion-dollar corporations, the people are without redress.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of it all, when you create a corporation, you're creating this immortal arrangement that it will exist forever, no matter what happens to the people inside it. All the people inside it, all the founders of General Electric are dead.
Yeah.
Right? There's no...
Long dead.
Like
generations dead.
Yeah. And yet General Electric soldiers on.
Yeah.
So this is not something that emerged from like market forces. It's something that emerged from moneyed classes and protection rackets and crime.
Well, even when you think about it, back, when... I mean, I'm not saying I'm a historian on this, but my picture of, the progress to modern medicine as it is today, I believe that most of the doctors along the way were coming from moneyed people.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're having that kind of capture on it right away, but and then you get into the corporatization of it, and you hear all these accounts of actual doctors and nurses who are saying, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
They signed up for, they wanted to actually take care of people.
A lot of them really do want to help people.
They really do want to help you. Now, okay, plastic surgeons and such, maybe not so much.
There's going to be specialists.
Sure. And there's going to be ones who go into it, they want to make money. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually okay with that if you're up front and open about it.
And if they're good at their job.
And yeah. I mean, like those guys, the ones who fix the bad surgeries have the show on.
Well, here's an aside. You notice UFC fighters get banged up and then they look great?
Yeah.
That's because the people on staff that sew them back up are plastic surgeons.
Yeah, and they know what the fuck they're doing.
Because ER doctors can put you back together, but it ain't always pretty.
No, definitely not.
Right?
They're not painters necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you're putting yourself into the hands.
It's an aside.
Yeah, I mean, because those guys who are in the ER, they're wonderful people, and they're doing, you know what I mean? They're doing something great for humanity, but that's why there's specialization. I mean, even there's specializations in the law, all that kind of stuff.
So if you have a system with no redress of grievances, violence is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first salvo, really. And you see how the reaction of the corporate media,
the overreaction,
when have you been, they're just, this is so terrible. people are shot in New York every fucking day.
Every fucking day.
Like, you don't see them wringing their hands over this terrible tragedy of this millionaire who was separated from his wife and kids.
You don't see the feds reaching in right away to obtain an indictment
for terrorism.
For terrorism for a guy who allegedly unalived one person.
Yeah.
And if anybody has the illusion that we're in anything but a Gilded Age and a protected elite class, then this should be opening your fucking eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is just like, it's clear as day what's going on.
There's more coverage of this than when the guy took a shot at Trump.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking crazy. And are people asking themselves why?
And the divide. You notice the left and right are not divided on this.
No.
It's like rich and poor. And even rich people, like not wealthy, but like not billionaire wealthy, but just like normal wealthy.
Make a couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, we're so sad that the guy died, but we get it.
And then wink.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's this urge to be like, we don't condone political violence. It's like, well, America was born in political violence. You have a Second Amendment to defend yourself from enemies, foreign and domestic. And I would say a lot of these corporations are domestic enemies. I think they work against the good of the body politic. I think they work against the people, against the economy.
Actively doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get into it like that and you think about it, it's like, okay, so we're going to have these people who have these incredible skills to fix human beings with the benefit of, hundreds of years of development of medicine as we know it today. But these fucking CEOs and C-suite executives are going to determine that, well, in order for us to make money to continue to fund our bloated fucking administrative state, we're going to deny as much as we can.
Yeah. To make a profit.
Yeah. How do you like, what do people think is going to happen eventually? Like, people are going to get fed up with that. I mean, and it's not even just the healthcare thing. I mean, look, I'm a fucking fat kid. You know what I mean? And I have always been a tubby bastard. But the thing is that this all kind of, the way I look at it is, all of this kind of blends into the entire corporatist of America. Is that Jordan Sheridan? You should check out Status Quo. He calls it the United Corporations of America.
Yeah.
And he's right. I mean, so you have these people who gatekeep over the healthcare system, and the government does nothing because they're captured by them through their lobbying.
It's easy. The American system is very easy to lobby and buy politicians.
I mean, when you look at the amounts of money,
it's not a lot.
Like,
we're constantly, our tribe should do that.
Yeah. Like,
how many politicians can we buy?
Well, apparently they do lobby, but they fucking do it against our own interests.
No way.
We can get against it. We can get into
that. We do things dumb
too.
Here sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. If you got the money to fucking lobby, do it right. But yeah, so then, and you look at it like, so you got the healthcare, corporate, that kind of segment of the corporatist world. And then you look at big food.
Yeah.
Now, big food fills all kinds of processed shit that I love. I do. I love it. Tastes great. You know what I mean? I love Entenmann's donuts. I love fucking toaster strudels. You know what I mean? I love that shit.
Take some Ozempic.
Yeah, well, I already did. Like, quit calling me fat. All right, but that also, you have to make the connection between that, which is making us more and more unhealthy, that's pumping us into a healthcare system that is also for profit, and they both mutually benefit from it.
Yeah, so you have a state-protected corporate structure of insurance, and then you have subsidies that go to
corn and soy,
that go to agribusiness, that go through agribusiness because farmers use that money to purchase equipment and to purchase chemicals, and so it ends up in the pockets of companies that are genetically engineering and creating processed foods and creating pesticides. So, but then they're calling this capitalism. I don't think so.
That's not.
This is a weird kind. When you have public money and private profit, I believe they call that fascism.
Yeah.
I believe that's one of the one of the tickets, one of the things you call fascism, along with a worship of the state. I don't know if you've seen any of that lately. I know at the schools I've been in, they usually say a little prayer to the state every single day.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep.
That's weird that they do that. How long have they done that? Oh, since the 20s and 30s? What was going on then?
And yeah, and you know, they love to bring up, you know, the Germans in 1930s and Hitler and all this stuff. You realize that you do have your own kids doing a Pledge of Allegiance as well, right?
And a school system modeled off the Prussian school system.
And I have, you know, I overall, I have no issue with being proud of your nation and, you know, all of that stuff. But you are indoctrinating these kids to do that.
Well, they know that.
And you're also, well, of course, they know that. But we have a lot of people who don't care to take the time to think about that themselves.
Yeah. So back to our friend Luigi.
Right.
I think it's the first salvo. I think we're going to see more.
As do I.
I'm not against it. I'm not necessarily against political violence. Like, I don't think violence solves any problems, but U.S. worships violence. They love it when it's done by the state.
You just talked about the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah. They love violence.
Yeah.
How many of your holidays are based on war? You people, Americans worship the gun.
Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
They worship the gun. They worship. You can go into why all these wars were preventable and how it actually led to a decline in human civilization and not an increase. But nobody wants to hear that because their uncle served and it hurts their feelings.
Yep.
And that's, you know, so they lionize war. They lionize even amongst the Longhouse people. Oh, our ancestors were warriors. Yeah, we got a whole lot. It's like, let's stop doing that because it's not effective for our people.
Let's bury the weapons. I mean, that's literally one of the first acts to do is to bury the weapons.
You know, and the Hawks will constantly be like, well, that's, you know, you say that, but you don't live in a safe world. There's like Russia and China. It's like, yeah, they're probably scared of you. If I was China and I watched the American news, I'd be fucking scared of you people.
Yeah, you have these fucking people who are making millions of dollars a year just talking the way that you and I do, but maybe not as wild, but still.
I don't know. Fox News is pretty wild.
They do. Yeah, some of them.
They've advocated nuclear annihilation of other countries.
I mean, even on CNN, they are. It seems to me that CNN and MSNBC, even them, they're supposed to be the hippies of, you know, the corporate media. It seems to me like they're advocating for fucking to wipe out Iran.
Yeah.
You know how fucking crazy that is?
Yeah.
And so, you know, like this opening salvo and the basis of everything being, you know, a love of violence. And the thing is, I actually don't think that, you know, when you meet people every day, I don't think that they love violence. No. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, they like their UFC fights and shit like that. But they don't want war.
I think they're not thinking about it, though.
Exactly, because they don't.
They've normalized it.
And that's not their life.
Yeah.
You know, that's not their life. And, you know, so then I advocate all the time for a class war. And I am deadly fucking serious about that. I believe that all of this, almost all of the problems that we see can be traced back to the elitist class who is overlording all of us and dictating how we're going to get health care, when we're going to get health care, you know, the food that we eat to make us all fat like me, you know, like, I mean, it's, you know, and, you know, okay, I can make a choice about what I eat. That's true. They've also, since I was a child and in that school system where they make you pledge allegiance to the flag, they feed you sugar.
They feed you garbage.
They feed you shit.
Poison.
And they get you hooked on it. And whether or not anybody listening to this wants to believe it, the truth is it's actually physically addicting you.
Yeah, go eat at your kid's school if you don't believe us.
Yep. I mean, I grew up on this shit. You know what I mean? And then you get to love that. I mean, I still love that documentary, Super Size Me. And he talks about that, you know, they talk about that sweet spot, salt, sugar, fat.
Oh, yes. The good stuff.
It's the good stuff. It literally sets off the same part of your brain that Coke does. Not that I advocate drug use, but
I mean, you'll lose weight if you start doing Coke.
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of. Have you ever noticed that? There's a lot of fat Coke heads around.
I'm just surprised how many there like people do that. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty. How many use Coke?
I'm such an angel. I just didn't know.
I never liked Coke, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's you would get surprised when you actually like talk to people who party and shit still.
Here's a fun law. Let's test all of our elected officials the day after they travel.
Yes, let's do it. Let's see.
Yeah,
let's see who pops.
That should be the law. The day after travel.
Let's see who pops dirty.
Yeah.
But so I mean, going back to Luigi, it's in that opening salvo. I think all of this is based in class problems, and I think it's pretty clear to everybody if you look at it, thoughtfully. Racism and homophobia, all of it, those are real things. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I've seen them myself. I've grown up around that kind of shit. I know that it exists, but I do believe almost all of it was an effort on the elite class to push that into our minds in order to make working class and poor people hate each other over something that we really shouldn't for, because one, it's stupid, but also it's keeping us blind to what's really hurting us, and that is the wealth inequality, the authoritarianism over how we get to live.
Well, yeah, the poor whites, the poor Indians, the poor blacks.
We have way more in common with each other.
We have way more in common. And if not for racism, we might be all standing in solidarity.
Yeah, and I think that we're getting closer to that. You know what? I didn't know, like, when it first happened with Luigi being accused of this, he was a rich kid.
Yeah, upper middle class.
Well,
yeah.
To me, that's a rich kid. Well, when I was a kid, I considered anybody who had, like, new clothes every year and shit, like, to be rich.
Yeah.
Or who
we're
had
poor
a
people.
phone. Yeah, like, I didn't have all that shit the whole time growing up. But it was, to me, it's like, they're freaking out as well, because you have someone who came from, upper middle class, that you're reaching that strata, who stepped out of that, realized what was going on, and allegedly did what he did.
Have you watched Bill Burr's little takes on this?
Some of them, he's been going off about.
He's been going off.
I fucking love Bill.
Yeah,
he's. I gotta say, I think he's better than Chappelle right now.
Yeah, because he's speaking for all the people.
Yes,
and not just.
He even calls out that he's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the Boston come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember,
sure.
Boston's a union town, and it's
hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
So you see that coming out.
I love it.
And yeah, I'm for it.
Me too.
I think we're going to see more Luigis. I'm not against it. Because there's no alternative, right? It's not like electing anyone. I mean, I know the MAGA crew are like, yeah, Trump's going to save us.
No, he's not.
We'll see. I mean, RFK might ban your good food there.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's the thing. I know, like...
Or not ban it, but they should end the subsidies.
Yeah, there it is right there. Like, when you look at... Okay, so we live in an area of the country where we actually have a lot of farms around us.
Yeah, we do.
But when you look at those farms, what are they growing?
Corn. They're growing cattle feed.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying... But they're growing corn.
Yeah, corn.
They're growing
soybeans.
Now, I would much rather roll by those farms and see them growing spinach.
Yeah.
And zucchini.
And diversify.
Cucumbers. Yeah. Because one, it's better for the soil.
Yeah.
But also, two, that's better food for us to eat. Now, all of that bullshit, I mean, like I said, I'm drinking processed fucking stuff. And I'm not making an excuse for myself. I know what I'm doing to myself. But those subsidies that you're speaking about, that's precisely why they do it. And that's all captured by the corporations with the politicians. They get corporate welfare to grow just incredible amounts of corn so that they can make fucking high fructose corn syrup, put it into every fucking thing that's not like raw food pretty much.
Yeah.
And even goes into the meat because that's all they feed the cows.
Yeah, and I think so. What we can also see, people like to blame capitalism in the market for this, but a lot of this is corporatization, the urge to get bigger and bigger and bigger. isn't from all market forces. Market forces aren't just about money, right? I don't eat great Indian food because it's affordable.
No, it's not.
I don't eat great Thai food. Yeah, I could go to Thai Express and get the nastiest, cheapest shit.
Processed Thai food.
But I go to the better place because I value the experience of eating.
Shout out to you, Singh.
Yeah, shout out to Singh. He makes
Bombay
great
Grill.
food. And shout out to Tums.
Yes.
Tums.
Yes.
In Cornwall, Ontario.
Yep.
Strangely, a lot of good restaurants for a...
Go get the good stuff, people.
Yeah. So in any case, like once upon a time, and you find smaller countries like this where they have diversified farms locally, many of them, and local markets. And we don't have that anymore. But we could.
Absolutely could.
We could.
We used to, 50 years,
Yeah.
60, 70 years ago?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of it, I think the idea of the corporation is running its course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a natural outgrowth of like a free market anyways.
No.
I think it's an outgrowth of the state. I think, I'm always harping on this because people are like, well, these business is like, well, corporations aren't the same as business. Like, Isaac has a store and drops a crate of bananas on someone's head. It's Isaac's problem.
Yep.
But, Walmart has a corporate structure where an employee drops a crate of bananas on someone's head and the company of Walmart is okay. Like they're shareholders. So they're collectivizing ownership in the corporate structure and changing risk. So, if Isaac dumps sewage on his neighbor's lawn, Isaac has to clean it up and it's really expensive. But the corporation of Alcoa can destroy an entire river ecosystem. And not only do they not have to clean it up, but the people who own shares in that company aren't impacted. Maybe the shares of Alcoa go down a little bit or whatever, but the Alcoa still exists. And so what's the risk? That's why these corporations just pay fines. It's cheaper to pay the fine than to fix the river.
So so what do you think about that in terms of, the shareholders themselves? Are they open game as far as for blame?
I think that would be the next step. Like not just they just stepped over the guy's body. They still had their fucking meeting.
Yeah, I know.
They still had their meeting.
That was fucking wild.
They don't care about even them.
No.
This is soulless.
They don't.
And I think, I don't think there's a place in humanity for this type
You know what?
of structure.
And when you think about that, like you made really good points on the, on the disconnect, I guess, from, the operation, the entity of a corporation as far as, their responsibility individually. But that's a connection that they don't have, so the Walton family,
Yeah.
they have they don't care about people.
No.
They're not connected to their community.
No. Or if they are, they're just their local community, the people they know.
Well, and even
their
then,
family,
it's
whatever.
to me, it's probably just a cursory, we have to make this kind of acknowledgement.
The island where
to
they
the
hunt
people.
children, whatever.
Right. They don't give a fuck. But when it comes to we in Acculturation, and I do like this, the shop local thing.
Yeah.
Our business owners locally, they actually try to work with each other and promote the other ones, like those corporations don't give a fuck. They'll spend millions and millions of dollars to cut the other one down.
Yeah.
If you have that local business community, that personalization of it, I only think that benefits everybody.
I think so. Healthy competition.
Yeah.
Like just doing a better job.
Sure. And I know people complain about all the shops that we have, the weed stores, but I really think, you do see competition. But what I noticed is, and I worked in that field for a couple of years, you don't really see people cutting each other down publicly. You know what I mean? And even
there's a couple of spats. There's a very famous one, but
but that's
it's kind of entertaining.
It's very entertaining, and I have a lot of thoughts on that. I won't go into it here, but yeah, I mean that's more over land boundaries
and personalities.
Personalities. That's not necessarily indicative of the weed industry overall here. I think when you look at it like that, because it just exploded so quickly, but you don't see that corporate kind of neck it, like going for the neck all the time.
Yeah.
And Yeah, of course, they all want to make money. They all want to stay. They want to stay open.
I mean, that's why I was against when they were first talking about legalization. They wanted to create like a lottery system, or they wanted to limit the number of licenses they give out, and that's exactly how you end up with cutthroatness.
Yeah,
because you're limiting a market. Let the market limit itself. I mean, we know that the weed market itself is it's an anomaly because it's a substance that's fairly innocuous. It's not completely harmless, but neither is water.
That is true.
A lot of people drown. You can drink too much water, you know. You really can.
You could be waterboarded to death.
Yeah. Yeah, government does it.
Fuck you, CIA.
Yeah, government does it all the time.
Oh, shit. I'm fucked now.
Government kills people all the time, every day. Each and every day.
Well, actually, you know what? When you think about it, water is harmful. Look at Flint.
Yep.
Look at Kalamazoo.
Yep. Sometimes it's flammable in the right country, the right state. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I forgot my point. So the weed industry is an anomaly because it was illegal for so long.
Yes.
And New York has supremely messed up the rollout.
So badly.
They're so bad at things. I love how we think that white people, like, when I say white people, I don't mean the race. I just mean the non-native construct and culture.
Like like, I'll try to help on this for all of the white people out there listening. It's not white people individually or even as an ethnicity or race. It's the idea of the Western European culture.
Kinda, yeah.
But
the American
that's morphed
version.
into like American.
Yeah, the Americana. Anyways, we always think they're so good at stuff, and they really messed this one up.
I mean, it's kind of easy for them to have fucked it up when they've allowed themselves. I mean, honestly, that libertarian stuff, I do believe that the bloat, you know, it does lead to laziness.
I am a little bit of a fan of Elon Musk and the other guy.
Oh, Vivek?
Just raining chaos. Go for it, dudes. Go for it.
I mean, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Certainly. Did you know how Vivek first made his money?
No idea.
Pump and dump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the ultimate.
Yeah.
You know, that's the ultimate fuck you.
It's
to
like
the
stealing.
Class. It is. It's stealing.
Stealing.
I mean, you know, I haven't like
it's stealing from idiots.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Is who the fuck? What poker player was that about the, you know, take a fool's money or whatever the fuck?
I don't.
Slim
I just know. I wish I bought Bitcoin in 2010.
Yeah, me too. Wish I would have mined for it.
We'd have a much better studio.
Yeah. Fuck. Hey. We're gonna get there though.
Yeah, we'd be on Trump's cabinet.
Yeah, I know. Hey, that offer's still out there, Mr. Orange Man. I don't like you, but I will work for you. I will sell my fucking soul for you. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, that's why, you know, the weed industry here is an interesting one. And I'm glad you said that because I do think a large part of that is because it was illegal for so long.
Yeah, we were able to get in early.
Yeah. And
we were already good at moving things.
Yeah, we tend to be able to figure out how to move things around.
I'm looking forward to that 25% tariff.
Yes. Yeah, because actually, you know how good that'll be for us?
I mean, it might be.
The island won't be broke anymore.
It just depends what happens with the border.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
If they start building a border wall, I'm really not going to like that.
Well, I guess...
it will help my water problems.
Yes, it will. I've come across... I know somebody who was kind of... you know, with the migrant problem and stuff like that. Well, with that, apparently the federal government, and I'm not surprised by this, they have a plan like already in the hopper to like basically really inhibit our freedom here.
Yeah, just drones everywhere.
Pretty much, and a fence and shit like that. So
because fences are so known to be
they're super effective.
That's why there's not like massive migration.
Even my fucking big ass could get through a fence.
Right? Or under it.
It'd be like Kool-Aid.
I do. Okay, so this is an aside, but you know, I live right along the border. Like my property's on the border. And I sometimes ask myself, like, what would I do if I looked outside and there were like dudes walking through the marsh? Because like one part of me feels bad for them.
You've never had that happen here?
One time there was a dude running from the cops.
Okay.
So I just looked outside, there were cops running through my yard, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You ever had any aliens come through here?
Not through here specifically.
That is weird.
Well, I mean, it's not that weird. They would have to walk through the marsh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like from perspective wise.
Yeah, the only way that would happen is if somebody didn't finish their ride.
Okay.
You know.
Well, that's been known to happen.
That's been known to happen, but they would have to come in from a different part of the river.
Yeah, it's pretty big. You're pretty deep in the bush here.
Yeah, but I it still crossed my mind because
Sure.
Occasionally my dog will bark at whatever.
Yeah.
Aliens. I don't know.
Shout out to Copper.
Yeah, aliens from space, aliens from Romania. I don't know.
Yeah, and people don't get mad at me when I say aliens. It's just a colloquialism here.
I'll say it.
Yeah, but
I don't care. Like,
no, I'm gonna keep saying alien. I just like
migrants.
People getting fucking upset about that shit. I don't hate these people or anything. Actually, I feel bad for
Well,
them.
that's the other side of the argument. Do I help them?
Yeah, that's.
Do I charge them a fee?
Yeah.
Like, what would I do? I don't know.
Holy fuck, it's Jesus. Offer him a room.
Yeah, right? You've arrived, my children. Come worship.
I found your crown of thorns, buddy. Oh, now the Catholics are going to be mad.
That's gonna be my Halloween costume.
You could be Jesus.
I'm Delort.
Fucking A.
That's what I'm gonna do at the Longhouse. I'm gonna show up in like sandals and.
No, you should be the Lost Dauphine. Oh, that's inside baseball.
We'll have to call this episode Luigi Stan.
Oh, fuck yeah, do it. Because ultimately, all of this, it really does come back to, in my mind, that class war.
Yeah, the hand wringing on it's so blatant, the disconnect between, like, if you go on Reddit, the bulk of the people who are like, yeah, it's sad that it's murder, but I don't care.
But fuck them.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
To outright good. This is the first salvo in a class war.
That's
like, I saw a dude from France being like, yeah, we had a French Revolution. It started this way.
Yes, that's exactly, you know what I mean? Like, let them
our country was born in this, and we'll do it again.
Yeah. Let them eat $1,400 insulin.
Yeah.
Because we fed them fat shit their whole fucking life, and now everybody's got diabetes.
Yeah. Some stuff is so blatant. It's like...
And now we won't give you health care because we fed you, made you fat, and then you need stuff to combat that. We're not going to give it to you. So don't be surprised when one of the CEOs ends up.
And now you're homeless and diabetic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you went broke.
I mean, like, literally... I know that, like, we live in Onkwehonwe, so we know plenty of people who, they get their health care on the Canadian side. No doubt there's problems with it. There surely is.
Oh, there's tons of problems.
Tons. I've heard people who went to the ER in Cornwall, waited there for like 8 hours.
12 hours.
12
Don't
hours.
get the medicine.
Yep.
Are misdiagnosed, and years later.
Totally get it. I do. But one thing that I always think about is, nobody in Canada goes bankrupt from medical bills.
Yeah, Canadian homeless. What's your problem?
Yeah. The fucking, you just got a needle in your arm. What's your deal?
Yeah.
Just quit doing drugs. I did it.
Just don't be sad anymore.
Yeah, don't be sad.
Think about things.
I mean, honestly, that's another thing. Fucking being sad. Food, eating too much shitty food can depress you.
Yeah.
It gives you the dopamine, but you got to come down after that.
Yeah.
And then if you want to feel good again, you're going to eat that shit again.
Yeah.
So you're constantly just putting this shit into your mouth. And when you don't, you feel bad. You feel tired. You want to go and get help for this stuff. And yes, I believe that mental health care is just as important as physical health care.
Absolutely.
And so, well, you're a mindfulness guy.
Yeah.
You understand this stuff.
I'm a professional.
He's profesh.
I'm a professional feelings guy.
I'm profesh fucked up in the head. Yeah, Josh sometimes has to talk me off fucking being like nuts, but it's but all of this stuff, you know what I mean? It all feeds into each other, and the fact that, I mean, and it is true, it's blatant what's going on. I mean, they are really, really pushing this hard, and it's fucking gross. I mean, like the corporate media.
Oh, it's so gross.
It's gross.
It's so one-sided. It's so they spend so much effort, like, and it's even crazier because you would think their business is propaganda. They're lying. They're Have you seen the pictures of them perp walking him?
Yeah,
it looks like a Jesus photo.
Yeah,
like, dude, you are making Renaissance art out of this fella.
Someone's gonna do that.
Oh yeah, it's already done.
Is it?
It's already on the internet.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah, it's
gotta love the internet.
I'm gonna print it out. It's great.
You got to do it.
I'll put it on the wall.
Yeah, we'll make merch with it.
I just I can't stand the hypocrisy of the people hand wringing. Oh, it's murder. And then they're going to go celebrate Veterans Day. Shut up. Like, this is a lot better than mowing down a village in Saigon.
And this guy, I keep forgetting his first name, Thompson.
Dead guy.
Brian?
Yeah, is it Brian?
Brian. The United, and by the way, in case people are unawares, he was the CEO of United Healthcare, which is the most gross healthcare, the largest corporation in the U.S. They are, I believe they have like a 36% denial rate, just off the top.
They just deny people, and a lot of people don't follow up. They're just they just give up. They're
and
sick.
That's like when you talk about the redress part, when, you can appeal, and you're probably going to get denied again. And it becomes such a pain in the ass, people do just give up.
Yeah.
And then they die.
Or you need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because lawyers are scum, and they've inserted themselves into every part of our society.
I'm not going into it again. But
I will get it. The lawyer jihad will happen.
I know, like, we're
going to mass.
You know what, though? I'll give you this.
We're going to exterminate lawyers.
You have very good reasons to hate lawyers. I will just remind you of PJ.
I know there's good ones. There were good Sith too.
Yeah, I know.
One or
two. Gotta do that because I got to make sure when it happens that we protect PJ.
Yeah,
we got to make sure we protect.
Okay, I know, but there's like 2 or 3 we'll protect.
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, it's like these people get to the point where they're just gonna give up, and like when you give up on that kind of shit, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're gonna die.
I mean, Reddit's full of stories of people that did. You know,
I can't read them anymore.
Or I couldn't get the test. They wouldn't pay for this one test.
Yep.
And that test would have saved my life. It cost $36.
Yep.
And they wouldn't pay for it, and I couldn't just pay for it myself.
Man, there was one. Like I literally I don't want to hear them anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's not because I'm uncaring. It's because like I start fucking tearing up. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
It's like watching the genocide in Gaza.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't scroll through and see
United Healthcare killed more Americans than the Israelis killed.
Probably in a
Gazans.
year.
Yeah,
I mean, like
that's fucking true.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
I mean, right? How
that's a genocide,
blowing everybody's fucking mind against your own people.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly your own people. That's another thing. Is like I don't believe that
CEOs are lizards.
They don't look at us like their own people.
No, we're just numbers.
Not.
We're numbers.
We're
numbers
grist for the mill.
Numbers in a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's all we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have former United Healthcare workers coming out and saying that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
Right.
They don't care. They get bonuses when more people die because they denied them care.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, and when we get to this point, I mean, I really don't want to, I mean, I heard one where this woman was talking about her mother. Her mother wasn't feeling well, and her primary care said she should get this test just to check for cancer. And she was denied. And then about a year later, it became very clear she had cancer, and I believe it was cervical cancer. And the woman said,
which is treatable if you catch it early.
Absolutely. She said the doctors all told her if a year ago she had been approved for the test and could have afforded it herself, which clearly she couldn't, which is normal.
Yeah. Hospital stays like tens of thousands of dollars.
I mean, there's even doctors coming out and saying, "Look, me as a doctor, I'm saying for them, me as a doctor that they're, I don't charge that much for this. I wouldn't charge this much for this because it's wrong.
Yeah.
They took an oath to care for people, so they don't. Most of the doctors don't want to do this shit either. They get fed up with it, and so this woman said, deny. And a year later, she was very sick. It was clear she had cancer. They finally tested her, got it done. She had cancer. She was dead within a year. And her doctor said she definitely would have lived, if she had been approved for all of that, the testing and stuff initially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, And that's just one case. And like, I can't hear it anymore. Like, I literally can't take it. And I'm not, how am I supposed to feel bad for the guy who runs that corporation? How am I supposed to feel
did
bad?
that 10,000 times?
Yeah, I can't feel bad for that guy.
No.
I don't. I do feel bad for his kids, actually.
I don't.
See, I do. But your
dad was bad. You're probably bad too.
Those
are bad kids.
See, you wonder too, is like that whole class war shit.
Yeah.
How young does that start? Because I've heard of like little shit rich kids.
Yeah.
Who like look down on everybody.
Yeah.
When they're like fucking in
they're taught
elementary
that,
school.
When we open re-education camps, it'll change.
Holy fuck!
Hey, you wanted a class where you Marxist?
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, goddamn. I mean, that's the thing is like I'm not a full Marxist, but I mean, Jesus Christ, give me a fucking break. I'm not gonna. You know what? It's crazy. I didn't see what his bonuses were, but that Brian Thompson. They said
it was
his
like
salary
$55 million.
Well, it was 10 mil, but yeah, I figured his bonuses had to have been in tens of millions.
So I don't feel
dollars.
bad for his kids. Those kids are making off good. They're getting so much money.
My wife told me that they make a lot more off his life insurance now because of this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the whole thing, the whole thing needs to collapse, and it's not gonna by itself.
No.
So
it has to get pushed.
It needs some help. We'll call the Delta Force.
Hey.
To take them down.
Whatever you and I can do to push it forward.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for a class war.
Well, that's the thing. You see all these conservatives about the greatness of America, and they talk about the things that make it great. Okay, be great. Stop this. You shouldn't have hundreds of thousands of homeless people if you're so great. You shouldn't have lead pipes in Flint if it's so great. You shouldn't have dissolving inner cities and police violence if you're so great. If you're so great, you should be awesome like Japan.
Yes.
Or like fucking Norway, or like these countries that are really cool. And you can say, well, they're homogenous. Yeah. They as a nation are more homogenous. However, you have areas of homogeneity that still have these same problems.
Yep.
So like Florida has these problems.
Yeah.
Texas has these problems.
Florida's fucking wild.
Let's get your shit together, guys. Stop making excuses when they're fueling the problem.
And everybody seems to, they really are. It's not just that fueling it either. It's like there's this complicity in it that people don't seem to understand that they have complicity in it because they're not demanding that it change.
Yeah.
And maybe Mr. Mangione kind of spurred that because it's interesting to watch what's going on now.
Yeah. He spurred a conversation. That's
he sure did.
He sure unmasked who the elite class really is.
Yes,
because they're on TV being like, "Wah!"
They're scared as fuck.
Meanwhile, you have the entire internet going, "Ha!"
Yeah, oh man, I don't like going on 4chan, but I kind of want to check it out, see what they're doing on there because they're fucking nuts. Because that's the thing is like you really are seeing the divide here, and it's very clear that the divide is between those in the elite class and those in the 99%.
And the empathy is fake.
Yeah.
Even the people there's going to be people who will hear this and be like, "Oh man, that's so cold the way you guys are talking." You don't care about this guy, really. He's just a dude on TV. You don't. If you cared about, it's just like people say they care about the homeless. Have you even given them $1? You don't. Like, shut up. Just don't be fake.
Yeah. Like
just fucking keep it real. You step over them.
Yeah. And I have no problem. I would rather have people, as the kids say, keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Than, this fake sympathy or empathy for any of this shit because most people don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm being honest. I don't like for that guy. I don't care.
No,
I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah,
I don't.
And if you do care about people, you can help them.
Yeah, exactly.
I've sent money to people this year. I've donated to GoFundMe's.
Yeah, I've donated to fundraisers, shit like that, as much as I can. I don't make a lot of money. Again, Trump, I'm here. United Healthcare. And I will gladly switch my fucking tune. I will become a corporate corporate United Healthcare whore for you.
You'll be a spokesperson. You'll be writing. Speaking of writing,
to
switch gears, you want to talk about that now, or do you want to do another episode for that?
I don't know. We can talk about it, I guess. I'm kind of like...
You were published.
I know. I've been feeling weird about this in a way because it's like I'm proud of it. And I also kind of feel like that's all I've been doing is talking about myself lately. Like with that.
It's okay.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm always looking for a reason to beat myself up. So
yeah, we have a lot of reasons to beat you up. So
yeah, that's true.
So hey, you wrote an article and it has kind of made it far and wide. Do we know the readership on it yet?
I have no idea. I didn't ask because I don't want to know.
10 people read.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Because I know like it's the Freedom for Press Foundation. I mean, it's it's one of the largest press freedom organizations in the United States, and. So when I got arrested at Barnhart, and everybody listening who is regular listener knows I couldn't really talk about it. Josh and I, a few weeks back, we kind of got into it a little more, but I was finally able to write my account, and I did, and I sent it to, there's a guy, Seth Stern. He's the advocacy director for the FPF, and he was the one who started helping me right away after I got arrested, because I really was kind of like, well, what do I do? Because one of the problems I had was that, and I'm not even kidding about this, my main concern was that my reputation as a journalist would be hurt more because of things that I did that day rather than me potentially going to jail. Yeah. Like that really was more of my concern. That, I swear to you, if I could ever get Seth or Angel Ellis, who is a part of the Indigenous Journalists Association, like if I could get them on the show sometime, they would be able to confirm that my main concern was not going to jail, because it really wasn't. That wasn't my main concern. My main concern was that I would be looked down upon for actions I did that day and not being fully professional as a reporter. So, I mean, and that's kind of funny. But
those CNN guys aren't asking themselves that.
No, I mean, what the fuck? Holy fuck, they're ridiculous. But yeah, so I mean, that was my thing, and I couldn't talk about it here. I couldn't write about it. I was even cautioned by another journalist that I know. He told me, he was like, dude, don't put anything on your computer. He said, when you take notes, write them by hand. Make sure that they're handy so you can get rid of them if, you know what I mean, the man shows up.
In this free country.
Yeah, exactly. Right. In this free country.
Freedom.
Merca.
Marca.
But yeah, so I mean, that was my thing. And so
Hide
I
them
finally.
in Canada.
Huh?
Hide them in Canada. The 51st state.
Yeah, that's true. I just go down to get a post box at down St. I can put them in there. Try and get it now, bitch. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It was when I had my final court appearance. Well, I didn't know that was going to be my final court appearance, but I go in and they said the case was dismissed. I had a little bit of an outburst, and on the way home, I was already writing in my head. And so I get home, take out my laptop, I start typing, and I spit out about 3,000 words in like about 6 hours. And obviously I'm very talkative here. Well, I write the same way. But yeah, so I did that. I got about 3,000 words out, and then, at work and stuff like that. So it took me about another 3 weeks to finish it. And when I did, I sent it to Seth. He said he wanted to take a look at it. And so he said it was great. And he talked about maybe shopping it to some other places. He said they would obviously be very interested to, that they would want to run it. But
pretty cool.
Yeah. But I was like blown away by all of this. I didn't know what to do. And I trust Seth, I do. And so I knew, like, if they were willing to print it, that I would want to go there. Oh, did I do it again? And so Seth and he edited a little bit, and then it went through their copy editor at FPF, and it got published, and it was what, about week ago now.
About time is strange, right?
Yeah, working nights too, man. It fucks with my circadian rhythms. So like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's been about a week or so, and in a national publication, it's pretty cool. John Cusack actually reposted.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, on Twitter and on Blue Sky. So that was pretty cool.
Hey, isn't he kind of like me?
Yeah, but he's got money and no, but he's
come on, John Cusack.
He's
sponsor us.
He's actually he's like a to me it seems like he's and I'm not saying this because he retweeted my shit, but he actually seems like a thoughtful person. You know what I mean? Not like some rich dickhead who just
He wasn't always rich.
Yeah, right. And well, I don't know. I think his parents were. I think his father. No, his mother was a professor or something like that.
No idea.
Anyway, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And plus, High Fidelity is like one of my favorite movies, so that was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it was kind of a bug out. Like, it was also published around Christmas, so like, I don't want to get my hopes up and be like, oh, this is gonna totally change my life. And of course, I'm doing the thing where it's like, my writing is no good and all that shit. So, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting. I'm mostly to the point where I do know that my writing. I'm a good writer. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. It's interesting to have something out there like that, knowing that it's being read by potentially everybody, not just in the U.S. but around the world.
Yeah,
it's a fucking.
All the intelligence
weird.
Agencies for sure.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, I know, right? Now
That's
I'm like,
critical infrastructure you guys are fucking around on.
yeah. Well, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I just told the truth of what, I told what happened that day.
We just don't want to taste.
Yeah. Please don't hurt me. I wonder if I haven't actually heard him talk yet.
And he just talks like a dude.
He does?
I think so.
Well, where's he from? I forget. Pennsylvania?
Was it Baltimore?
Oh, yeah. I think so. See, this guy's fucking cool as shit. And
He's cool.
I don't remember where he's from.
I think he's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was really, really cool to have that published like that. And I mean, we'll see where it goes. I have an idea for another piece about Indian time, and Seth said he thinks it's a good idea. I would love to, like, if he was able to, like, somehow remote into the show or something like that. I think you would like him too, because he's
Where's he out of?
Chicago.
Oh, that's far.
That's where he's at. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I can set this up for Zoom. I just don't care for Zoom.
No, I know. I mean, I would rather have. Well, if Seth ever listens to this, come on out here, man. Hang out on the res with us. That would be cool. Because he's like he really is. He's really awesome. I like talking to him. Like, we email, mostly. But I couldn't believe, like, it was a bug out to me in the sense that these people who were total strangers to me, I realized, because my world in terms of journalism was small. It was Indian time, and I know Jorge, and I know Andy, but that's really all that I know in terms of journalists.
Yeah.
So my world was very, very tiny. And talking with Seth, I mean, he works for a place that me and Glenn Greenwald was a part of there.
That's cool.
But yeah, like, that's, and
you read The Intercept?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He, I mean, Glenn Greenwald, Ryan Grimm, like, all these guys. I mean, it's just, you look on Twitter and see who follows them. And it literally, I mean, it's Glenn Greenwald, Max Blumenthal, Ryan Grimm, Glenn Klippenstein. Like, it's just a bug out to me. Like, it's so strange to even think, I doubt they read it. That's fine. But just the possibility that fucking Glenn Greenwald read my piece.
Maybe he read it.
Maybe he did. That would be so.
It's an easy read. It's not that big. Like, it's not that super duper.
It's almost
long.
3,000 words.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty long, but not like crazy.
But
yeah,
I mean,
we had to.
Writers read fast.
Yeah, that's true.
I read fast.
Yeah, I read fast.
Yeah.
Well, I also, that fucker started out I'm serious too. It was 6,000 words. And even I know I'm very long-winded, but I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, this has got to get cut. So I got it down to about 4,000 words myself. And then when I sent it to Seth, he got it down to about 3,000. And then the copy editor, it really was just like mostly tightening and stuff. He didn't really cut that much more out of it. They said it was like really good, you know, from what I tend not to like to edit my stuff because I don't want to part with any of my brilliant words. And
comedy's about editing.
Yeah, I know. And that's
shorten it as much as you possibly can.
Me, I want to I think I'm fucking like Homer or some shit, and like my epic story. So, but yeah, I got it. When I sent it to Seth, the document was titled Isaac Barnhart Edit 3. And that was possibly the most times I've ever edited any of my own work before. And because I knew I had to get it down. But when I got it to that point, it was just, you know, I couldn't, it was just weird that all this shit was happening. And I got to fully, because most people, like, you know who Glenn Greenwald is.
Yeah.
Probably, I would imagine a lot of people who watch and listen to our show would probably know who Glenn Greenwald is because, you know.
Because if you watch this, you're so smart.
Yeah, I know, right? You got to do that one.
If you watch this far and you're into stuff.
You are intelligent. Almost as smart as Josh and I. But yeah, I mean, it was just like I got to geek out totally on, you know, just the possibility that all of these guys, you know, read my stuff. So that was really cool. And hopefully I get to do it again. And it would really be, I don't know, I would just like to be able to keep doing it. I mean, you and I are going to look at some stuff to do.
Yeah, we're working on stuff. Maybe it'll happen. It'll happen. We also have a new channel, so I don't want to give up all our subscribers. The way we've done Aboriginal Outlaw Studios is we've just like piled everything in the same channel. That way we can cross pollinate. Sage Against the Machine has created its own sub channel, which you need to subscribe to. So what we're doing is you can find Sage Against the Machine podcast on the Aboriginal Outlaws YouTube feed, but you can also find it in its own playlist on Sage Against the Machine pod at YouTube. So come find our channel, subscribe to it, like it, and eventually I'll just start uploading there. But for the time being, we have
time restrictions on that.
There's
length.
Because we don't have so many subscribers. You need just a particular length, and it's just YouTube's algorithm's weird. I'm just, you know, I'm not an expert in that stuff. So
no,
and migrating, you know, content is strange on YouTube. So
I know I'm gonna that Josh is the one who handles like all of that shit pretty much, but I'm going to be helping because all the technical aspects of it and all that, it's not fair that I just run my mouth or write something and then Josh has to do all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help.
I'm just riding your coattails once you get into New Yorker, that's all.
Shit.
I'm gonna be like that. You got Shane Gillis and there's the other guy in his podcast. I'm gonna be like that other guy.
You know what though? I like that guy. He's pretty good.
He's good. He's funny.
He's pretty good. He's funny.
He's funny. I recommend him.
I gotta say though, when I listen to the podcast, I'll listen to like one without Shane.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna listen to multiples in a row if Shane's not on the thing. No.
There's
Shane.
a reason I don't do a podcast by myself.
Well, that's what I couldn't do it. I mean, I could, but I
just rant into the camera.
Yeah, I mean, it's the like dynamic with us.
Unabomber.
Yeah, right. Called Ted K's Funhouse or some shit like that.
Ted K's podcast.
Yeah.
Here's his buddy Luigi. Apparently, Luigi was into reading Kaczynski's.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you read some of Kaczynski's manifesto, it's not all off the wall.
No, and he is.
Fun fact: he was part of the MK Ultra program.
Yep. Holy fuck.
And Timothy Leary.
Timothy Leary was too?
Yeah.
I know Manson was.
Yeah.
If you guys ever want to go down a rabbit hole, look up Jolly West. I forget his real name. I just know he's a doctor, MK Ultra. Go down an MK Ultra rabbit hole. I promise you will be entertained.
Yes.
You won't fucking believe some of this shit actually happened, but it did.
Yep. Well, that's Sage Against the Machine. I'll save the Longhouse stuff for next time.
Yeah, we do got to talk about that too.
We're at an hour.
Yep.
All right. I'm Joshua.
I'm Isaac.
Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, like, comment, send us in your ideas if you like to. We also have Sage Against Sage. What is our website?
No, I forget.
We have a website.
That's actually supposed to be my part to do, is to put writing up there.
Yeah, and we have an Instagram that we barely use.
We're going to start doing all this stuff, though. We're having someone's going to be coming on to kind of wrangle us.
Yeah.
To keep doing things consistently.
Yeah. Since there's no more paper, we're the paper.
Yep. Pretty much. Actually, Jorge said that too.
Yeah.
He was like, you guys need to fill that void.
Yeah. Well, I'm good at filling voids. That's Sage Against the Machine. We'll see you next time.
All right. Oh, no.